Gangster Bet is Icon's next generation NFT collectibles of 5,555 gangsters and detectives, with changeable names and stats. Holders of Gangster Bet NFTs receive daily distributions of GBet tokens. GBet can be used to upgrade their NFT skills and stats. The supply of GBet will decrease over time and will stop after 9 years. Holding Gangster Bet NFTs will have opportunities for future airdrops and will give you access to Gangster Bet's highly anticipated metaverse. Learn more at gangsterbet.io. Shout out to our sponsors at IconBet. Open source, decentralized gaming, no deposits, play straight from your wallet. IconBet, made by the players, for the players. Eye on Icon is proudly supported by Icon Nation and the Icon community. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Eye on Icon, the episode we get you all the latest and greatest news, officially titled Weekly News. And with me today, again, joining me, Digital Dave. Pleasure to have you on the show, man. How are you?
Very happy to be back. I'm doing great. And I've been hoping I could get another shot at this. So when I got the call, I ran to the desktop computer and we started it up. So let's go.
Excellent. Thanks, man. Last minute notice as well, and you've jumped on to help out again. Really appreciate it. Plus, I figured, I wanted to know, deep dive into, everyone's probably hoping we're going to talk about impermanent loss. We're not. What we're going to talk about a bit more is wash trading, no, especially on the backyards. Have you deep dived into it? Have you found any more information?
I have searched and searched. Unfortunately, the link previews of the craft links, they're not loading anymore. Go too far back. So I've only found one like conceptual backyard. I think it went for 305 ICX, which is out of my budget for backyards.
Yeah.
But I couldn't find any else. So, it's been tough.
Yep. Oh God, the tragedy. Okay, look, let's dive in. Market. So we won't spend too much time here, but overall, ICX, what have we got? We crossed $1 again. We saw a lot of celebration. When did that happen? Anyway? We saw a lot of celebration. We're back under. It's looking okay at the moment. I like this trend. I'm not a TA guy, but this trend runs since Jan 20th. Touch, a bounce off. Trend is your friend. I feel like this is great news. Let's see how it holds overall. Any thoughts on ICX, David?
Yeah, it's a good coin to hold.
Love it. No, that is excellent. I mean, what is the Twitter vibe? This is what sentiment, right?
Indeed. Not a lot on price, to be honest. I'm drowning in NFT tags and projects popping up. It's rough out there. Not much price sentiment. So I was assuming it wasn't performing all too well. So now looking at it, I can see it has come down. But then, it's bounced off one of your little black lines. So I'm going to celebrate that.
Yeah, look, honestly, I try to just stick a line and be hopeful that it is a good line and it sticks, but no method to the madness. But overall, yes, look, all crypto bounced and had a good run, but everything's retracing. So if we go to the top dog here, we see BTC ran from 41,000 all the way up to 48,000, and now it's seen a bit of a correction down to 43,000. So overall, though, well, I actually don't know. What is that? I don't know what it means. Let's hope it sticks. Ethereum had the same thing as well. So definitely when you look at ETH's chart from the top, it appears to have broken that downtrend. So, hey, it doesn't go up in one. It just doesn't always go up. So a correction is good. ICX, like I said, that overall trend, I'm glad it held. I don't know why. I think I've seen it before. I don't know why I didn't see it before. But good news all around. Let's see how the new day, the weekend goes. Are we going to get a fake pump or just stable market and then we see a bit of a bounce Monday? I don't know. Do we want a weekend pump? Don't we? I don't know. Sometimes it's people go, no, weekend pump, and then it just keeps pumping. So, TA drives you mad. Well, David, I know what you're saying. Just get on with it. Okay, let's move on to the news. So first up, we have look. There's a renewed focus on uh, driving and having the right conversations out of Twitter and in the forums. And, we have a few people in the foundation. Eric, who's looking after these pieces in the foundation, has kicked off a lot of work. And we see a lot of community members as well joining in. So TJ has highlighted here that Eric has a few posts. So if you didn't already know, so that there's discussions around renaming CPS to Icon Ecosystem Fund. Go and have your say. You don't need to be a P rep or anything like that. Anyone can go in and share their views around the matter. I'll quickly run through and get your feedback as well, David. So updates on Icon terminology. This is a big one. I think we covered it the other week.
Indeed.
Okay, good. See, I'm glad you remember such things. But a real big one, definitely one to go in and look at, creating a CPS open standard. So this is an interesting one, and I feel passionately I am going to take some time out and actually put some comments in this thread. Basically, we know we have CPS, we tell everyone go for funding, but at the end of the day now it's coming, if there's too much happening, we've got the priority system, we've got all these things, but really should there be some standards for everyone to follow? That way things that are hitting CPS are well flushed out. We're seeing thorough reports come through for it and things like that as the proposals get funding and progress. So it's kind of an all-rounded view, and it's a big one. It affects our entire ecosystem and how our ecosystem evolves. So definitely one to watch. Now, you know what, David? Rude of me. Let me stop. So far, thoughts. What are your thoughts on the few topics we're covering?
It's interesting to see that the forum is being pushed forward as an official platform to discuss the changes to Icon or the Icon blockchain. It has always been there. It's just that a lot of users float around either Twitter or these days the Discord is growing tremendously. There's so much discussion happening in Discord. So I would like to see the discussion from the forums and the Discord kind of merge. It would be great if we could, talk about these things in the places where all the people are.
Yep.
The forum isn't a busy, you have to make an account, you have to log in. I'm not sure if a lot of people do that or have done that. So that's my first thought on the forum as a platform. I would like to see it. And I know that there's been talk about this with TJ mentioning that he spams the Discord with these pieces. So, it is happening. It's interesting stuff. I like the terminology switch. You already see if you scroll all the way up that TJ is mentioning validators as opposed to P reps. I think it looks good.
Yes. I agree.
Yeah, and then we have the open standards for CPS. I don't know what that means. Is that people coming in? Is it guidelines for what you can apply for, or is it behavioral guidelines like be polite? Is it a standard for? Here we go.
Yes, so it's a standards working document. Let's see, opens up here. To create an open standard agreed upon by the Icon community members and validators for CPS projects and how they're voted on. So, look, we could dedicate we should actually, and you can see everyone's getting in there and commenting. So that's what it's about. It's more consistency. That way when people are going in, they review, and then before they go through actually put through the application, it's kind of more streamlined. So
the process
exactly, and agrees on stuff. So see, for example, like some of the things that I've definitely noticed and I have also questioned openly is, I see community manager and a project's just starting out. I'm sorry, I've been vocal and I'll keep saying it. I agree community manager is essential. However, when you're going to CPS, you're going to bootstrap your project. You need to get your project out the door. And now, this is not me criticizing community manager. I see marketing. I see different. There are different components that is that something CPS should be paying for your project?
Hmm.
And that's where these are the
Yeah.
kind of open standard conversations they want to have, so that everyone's following the same process. Otherwise, it's unfair. If one team gets marketing budget and another team doesn't, gets rejected because they're
Yeah.
asking for a marketing budget. Yeah, yeah,
This is good to see. I like this being talked about in the open, decisions being made, and then it's just going to help the CPS move forward. Hey, wasn't there talk of changing the name of the CPS?
yes,
I
yes.
responded to a
Uh,
forum post on that.
we're getting to it. We're getting to it. So that was this one, renaming CPS. So look, I agree with your comments. All this stuff happens in Discord. I think traditionally, like your the forums is where you can have those pre-proposal discussions, things that before they get voted on. The forum can be an official documented place for this to happen. Discord's great to have those quick conversations but then that final capture I think should happen in the forums because it's
Yeah.
easy to archive and things like that. So when you get into Discord, then it gets messy because there's just so much conversation happening.
Yeah.
Look, we won't keep going on here, but overall, sensational. Even forum guidelines. There's just a ton. There's a ton of activity in the forums at the moment, and there will keep being activity. So if you want to see what the latest and greatest is happening, you want to have a say, be involved in the conversation, jump in the forums. And thank you, TJ, for actually putting this thread together, highlighting that. It's great to see.
And it's great for newcomers to Icon coming into the ecosystem. Once, like, these are the types of improvements that are going to make Icon function and look better for first impressions for people coming into the ecosystem. They're going to find systems that work, that look good. Just things, these elements of this ecosystem have been well thought about, and there's we're doing things for a reason in a certain way. I think that just looks good,
Yeah.
and I'm happy that all these things are just passing through, decisions are being made, and then that's what we go with.
Yeah.
Excited about this. It's actually, I think it's Eric who is pushing most of this from the foundation, so good job.
Yeah. No, it's definitely good. So next up we have more CPS. So we can see that the ranking 7 validators have voted with the priorities, 16 validators remain. So this is currently where we are with CPS. I thought the voting period is still going on. Let's just quickly check. But yep, so 2 days left. Oh, interesting stuff happening here. But okay, this is actually, now this tweet makes a ton more sense. So we know that they've implemented this new priority mechanism, and currently this is on the day this was treated. This is how it stands. This is where, according to these priorities, what your P reps are voting for. I want to be very clear here. This is what your P reps are voting for. So I keep calling this out. If you go to CPS page, you can click on your proposals and see what your P reps are actually voting. If it's something you're interested in. At the same time, it's great. I'm really happy to see the ledger live. I know the community really wanted it. It's great to see. Yeah, that's all I'll say on this. I think I'm a little taken back. Fling. I've been very excited about that one. I feel that is what is needed, given we're going to
Yeah.
have multiple dexes now on Icon, and the fact that that will
What?
evolve.
What? So Fling is ranked 7. Well,
Yes.
can you let's go and have a look at the voting. Who's voting? Who's voting no on Fling, or are they all voting yes, but ranking it low?
Exactly. I don't think we can see the ranking.
Hey, we need to see the ranking.
Yeah. That's why TJ has done this summary. See, so, but overall, yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame. Look, overall, look, it's not a shame. It's just okay. That's the way it's playing out. Uh,
Icon Sweden came in. They voted yes, and they said okay. Do you
hey,
reckon he
hey,
hit enter and the box said this is a required text box?
hey, the fact that he
Okay.
said okay, Icon Sweden is very harsh in his judgments. So, or him, I don't know
Yeah.
who they are, but yeah, definitely they vote with no quite frequently. So the fact that they're saying yes is kudos.
Okay. Okay. But ranked seventh out of 10 on average.
Yeah.
Um,
Look,
so what is it underneath? We're looking at In Anus Invictus, an NFT game. We've got this learning platform that I'm excited about because I want to learn
hmm.
and I like gamified e-learning. The tracker updates, Eclectica Metaverse. Those videos look interesting. Actually, I'm curious about that. More tracker. Hey, there's two tracker in there.
Yes, well, that's different phases. So they've gone for two. See, it's phase two and phase three. So this is something else that's being discussed, and we've seen a few tweets in the community about what's the deal here. Where should it be funded? I I I want to be clear. Like my comments is literally around that, and where should it be funded is should it be via CPS or should where it's critical infrastructure related should the foundation be funding it? So it's not about the quality or any of that. Uh, I'm not getting involved in that. I just feel that the question about who should fund it, whether it should be CPS or foundation, is a good one because those were substantial amounts of money, rightfully so, because they're putting in cutting edge infrastructure and tech into the tracker to enable it to do more things. But we're taking money away from our ecosystem growth, or to attract people as well, as another argument that could be made. And
Yeah.
yeah, look, overall, it's interesting. It's again to David's point, the standards discussion that's happening with CPS and these kind of conversations are the right ones. Look, one thing as well though, it is again a catch-22. So when I say this, foundation should be funding it. We're on Icon 2.0. We're on ISS 3.1, where inflation is meant to route to CPS. That component is still not happening. So, uh, what's happening there is that inflation is actually not going anywhere and getting burnt. So, which is good news. But what way CPS is being funded is via the foundation node rewards. So, yes, I believe the foundation should be paying for it, for critical infrastructure, and technically it is actually paying for it because the correct inflation isn't hitting CPS yet. So that's why I say catch-22. Once this governance score and stuff is implemented, end of next week, they hope, then we can kind of go, okay, well, now what is a standard? What type of work should you take to the foundation to get a
Mm-hmm.
grant, etc., which I hope that's how it goes down, and we start to see trackers and things like that are critical to the ecosystem need to happen, and there is no, okay, the tracker isn't going to bring more transactions. Do you see what I mean? Like it's not in that vein. So uh, yeah, let's see how that
It
plays
doesn't
out.
fit into the sustainability flywheel where CPS is funded by inflation and CPS gets more transactions in through the projects, and then the transactions generate money that's going to fund the CPS again. Very, very short
Yeah,
and possibly wrong take on the sustainability model for the decentralized icon blockchain.
yeah.
But what you're saying is trackers don't fit into that possibly, and therefore they should be funded by separate foundation grants.
Yeah, yeah. Look, spot on that. And look, this is why I always say critical infrastructure because if uh, token, no, yeah, critical infrastructure. For example, Fling is building, without a token because it's an index aggregator. They're not just going to throw a token in there for the hell of it. But overall, it is a DApp that is going to bring transactions. It's going to bring utility to Icon. And again, remember, this is a big thing because if inflation is funding it's funding either growth of the ecosystem or actual projects that are building that get more users, generate more transactions, already that inflation is working towards reducing inflation, because the more transactions that happen on the Icon blockchain means the more fees get burned. And then when we hit that point, inflation goes out the window, because basically if we're inflating 4%, when we have enough network activity, we're already burning everything we inflate every day. So I know I repeat myself, but this is why sometimes I can't resist, and I get a bit passionate on Twitter, and I just say what's on my mind, because these are the facts, right? So we should be thinking strategically. We're not a young blockchain. We have been around, and we need to start thinking of how we gain more adoption. Um, yeah, I'll stop there, David. Otherwise, I'll keep ranting.
Yeah, good.
Good. Okay, next up. Are we on? I think I jumped this the wrong way. We will come back to the ice and snow. Let's talk Icon first, since we were on the Icon, all things Icon Foundation related. So we had the dev update drop for March, and this is kind of, we won't go into excruciating detail, but the Icon 2.0. So this entire piece is all around that CPS component, the proposal aspect. It's to do with that. So we're just, they're in the process of trying to resolve and do some extended testing so that they can fix that. And once that change happens, then that inflation component will go to CPS, and it's all to do with the governance score migrating to Java. So, and then we saw the Icon team also work on the IconX Chrome extension, that it's been upgraded to do a few fixes. And the IconX extension, while HANA is the default wallet, IconX is still relevant, because a lot of the PREPs for bonding and unbonding and things like that, they still need to use the IconX extension. So the foundation, the team in Icon Loop, I believe, have thrown a little bit of love to get that sorted. David, any thoughts?
I was going to add to that that you're talking about PREPs, but of course you meant icon validators.
Validators. Yes. Did I mention PREPs? When did I mention PREPs? Under what?
It's stuck in your vocab.
God damn. Shame on me. Yes, validators. Validators. Then, okay, what's next? BTP. So I think what I liked as well over here, you've got BTP product, and just calling this out, and BTP integration. So the clear distinction is BTP product is BTP. It's BTP is a constant technical product that will evolve, extra features, things like that. So there's a team working on that part of it. So that this is what this update entails from that team, and kind of covers off some of the points that they're looking at regarding the fees. We know that's been an issue. So if you haven't already, I'm not going to break this down, but get in there, read the tech update. It's really well written as to what they're doing. Also what they spent a lot of time on in the month of March, which was just streamlining their processes, which is good. Sometimes it's good for a technical team to stop and revise their workflow, their processes, how they're going to deliver, and then kick off. They'll actually move a lot quicker doing this, rather than trying to just work haphazardly on old ways, and not actually make revisions based on how they've performed in the past to make themselves better. So yeah.
Do you think it's the Icon Loop team coming in and kind of injecting this element of enterprise workflow and saying, hey, we have to revise this and that's going to have us move at twice the speed in April? Or am I just making stuff up? Because isn't it Icon Loop that came in to help on this element of the BTP development?
Yes. So I think Icon Loop all built the technology at the start, right? So BTP was done. Now, what happened after that was the Icon Loop team then took over the migration of the blockchain, Icon 1.0 to 2.0. That migration took ages, and it was tedious. So the entire team was strictly focused on that. Why? Because the first version, that token swap feature that we know about, was built, and then they shipped it off to a working group, which is basically this BTP integrations team that we currently know all the various teams are working on building the actual integration. So they've taken that BTP and then built out the integrations for it. So the Icon 1 to 2 migration took a while, right? So they were working in a workflow that worked well to do that task. So now that they're done, the way they were operating doesn't necessarily translate to taking on BTP and working the same way. So kind of what they've done there is gone, okay, well, we worked on BTP. This is what's happened with it. Now we need to enhance the product. Let's deep dive in. But before we do, let's adopt our ways of working to be more efficient to deliver
Yeah.
this piece of work, which is very different to what Icon's upgrade was, where it involved migrating the entire chain on the new chain in a new language, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, that I think that would be a fair way to look at it. So
Yeah.
so then next up, then when you look at BTP integrations, very simple, easy talking points. We can see Harmony. So we can see a lot more have been deployed on test nets, various test nets. Now, sometimes you have to remember, like, if it says Harmony testnet, one side is done. That means they may be working on the Icon side of the contracts that need to get deployed as well. So I don't have any call outs here. It is great to see some updates around Algorand and Nia as well, and then finally Icon Bridge. So everyone's been waiting on this, David. Icon Bridge, Icon Bridge. When's Icon Bridge launching?
When?
When? When drop? You don't know?
In April?
Yes, apparently. Look, this is the month. The team is feeling confident. They're going to ship, and it's looking like we know it's. We've got Icon Bridge finalize integration on Binance Smart Chain, so hopefully we haven't heard otherwise. We've seen some tweets around this as well, so fingers crossed that it does ship. But overall, great update. Also, just a word out to the community. Some feedback, definitely on the tweets and stuff. If you're seeing some of these breakdowns and updates, some commentary around how you like it. It will go a long way letting the foundation know that they're on the right track in ensuring everyone's getting the information they're asking for. Move on, David?
Yeah, let's move on.
Okay, great. Same, it's that time of the month. Now we have two updates that come out. So the technical updates for Ice and Snow. Now, what we saw with this is it launched a quarterly roadmap. David, I want to scroll down for... no, this wasn't. I remember the original tweet that went out. You literally had all these details, and someone asked when airdrop for Snow, and it's like I think you then commented. It's like it's literally in the first picture.
Yeah, I don't know if these people have a hotkey on their phone or keyboard, that they just go like Control W and it just sends out the when airdrop question. It's a joke, really. You're publishing an update that tells everyone all they need to know, and instead of reading the update, you're gonna post a question. You know how stupid that looks? Imagine being in school. Imagine your teacher, your math teacher, explaining to you how a certain equation works, and then he's done explaining, and you put your hand up in the air and you say to the teacher, when math. Like, you look stupid. Log out. Get off your computer. Go outside. Like, get the fresh air. You need it. I just screenshotted those questions, and look, I'm gonna just laugh about it a bit.
Yeah.
Because it happens. And in time, it'll blow over. It's going to take a while. I can see that the airdrop claim for Snow is set to launch in the third quarter, so it's another couple of months of this question, and then afterwards, people will zoom in and say, okay, when is the Ice gonna come? The airdrop for Ice, which I would assume when the Ice blockchain is finished, which is probably going to be in the first quarter of the next year. Yeah. To be honest. Looking at this detailed quarterly roadmap. So that's kind of what you can expect. And you could take that information and do with it what you will. You could also just respond to every single tweet that the Ice and Snow team puts out for the next 3 quarters with the same question. You could do that too. So it's up to you.
Yeah, yeah. Look,
That's my 2 cents.
look. What I like is, so we already know, we've talked about the roadmap. If you want more detail and what some of these things are, it's broken out down in the roadmap, and now it's aligned to this language quarterly. If you look at the roadmap, but overall, at a glance, these are the big ticket items. These are the things that mean something to everyone, and you've got clear quarters noted of what to happen. As David called out, yes, ice is missing. There's no launch of ice. Look, I think once you start exploring the Polkadot ecosystem, you realize there's certain things that have to happen. So you have to, the crowdline strategy, secure the slot. You have to be running Kasuma for a little while. You want to be, so that you can streamline, and so there's no point putting some unrealistic timeline. So I think it's good that the team has published a quarterly map that they know that they're going to complete, and hopefully it gets revised quarterly in case there are, God forbid, any delays, or there's actual good news and things are moving a lot better than anticipated. So overall, I like the quarterly map. It's nice, it's simple, and I'm really loving all the tweets as well. So good to see. What have we got here? I had the blog technical update, but we've covered that. Okay, next up. Look, let's move on to Balanced. Okay, so Balanced dropped a new website. A new website for.
Page, actually.
Oh, web page. Yes, sorry. Why don't you talk to this, David? I know
All right,
web
ladies and
pages.
gentlemen, let's focus on Balanced. They have dropped a web page dedicated to the BNUSD stablecoin. It is the algorithmically backed stablecoin, the number one in the Icon ecosystem. It has a lot of upside that people don't completely understand, which is why this page goes a long way to explaining what this stablecoin is and how the Icon ecosystem benefits of it being used and its utility. Scrolling down, these actually move around on mobile, and they're doing, yeah. So all these images, they kind of move and emphasize the point that's trying to be made. Did you know that Balanced is also working on a new landing page, like a front page for people who enter Balanced for the first time?
Hmm?
That's supposed to launch soon as well. I saw that in their latest update. But this particular page is all about BNUSD, why we should be using it. As you lock up ICX, you lock it away in order to mint this stable coin. So for every $1 that is minted, about 3 or 4 ICX is being locked away. There's a certain ratio there. Also, the role of how the BNUSD is being pegged to the dollar through the rebalancing mechanism on the Balanced platform. This has gone, if you haven't heard of rebalancing yet, it's been a hot topic. It is because, as it stands, the BNUSD dollar coin is backed by just ICX. So as value of ICX swings up and down, this mechanism plays around with people's collateral that they've put into the platform. This happens in a way that it kind of benefits people. So your ICX is being sold above market price every now and then. And sometimes you're actually minting more BNUSD. Am I saying that correct? What I want to say is your collateral gets affected, but it
Yes.
gets affected above like the market prices, so to your benefit.
I,
It's just people aren't very happy with their collateral being affected in the first place. And the way that they aim to solve this moving forward is the BNUSD coin is going to be backed by multiple types of collateral. So it's no longer just going to be ICX. I think I read that USDC, which is another stable coin, is going to be implemented to back this coin. Is that correct?
yeah, that was probably something I was very disappointed to see. But Yes, that is one aspect, and two, that's look. I think generally, if you look at older accounts, that what you said has happened. It does sell at it always sells it to benefit, but that's not necessarily the case. I think a simple way to make sure you understand how rebalancing works is what you put up as collateral. It can be sold or bought when the peg is broken, depending on market conditions, what's happening, higher or lower demand. Based on this, your ICX can go up or down. Now, naturally, if it keeps rebalancing and buying ICX for you, and it does add it to your loan, but at some point, if you reach your maximum borrowed threshold, it can lead to liquidation. So, I think to put it very simple, the way the rebalancing mechanism works is whatever you've put up to take out a loan is will potentially little portion of it will get sold based on what's happening with the peg, either sold or more ICX will be bought with your stash. Extended loan will be taken out. So yeah, I think people may not have realized to what extent that can happen, and that to what extent is literally what's going on in the market. So if you have a black swan event where just the price crashes, everyone's trying to do the same thing, and the peg is not holding, so everyone's trying to get this process where they rebalance and to make a bit of money on it. Your loan, your collateral is constantly changing. So yeah, it needs its own
And
dedicated time to break down.
when the BNUSD is backed by ICX collateral, but also stablecoin collateral, and for example, Ethereum collateral, then one of these three types of collateral dropping in value or rising in value would affect the bunch less and would affect the
Exactly.
destabilization of the peg less. So more collateral types is good for
Yep.
BNUSD is my take.
Yep.
And stablecoins are becoming sexy. They are everywhere. They are being marketed. We all heard UST, the Terra ecosystem stablecoin. They want their stablecoin to have the most utility out there, I believe.
Yep.
But I'm seeing them. I'm seeing platforms, DeFi platforms on Polkadot ecosystem introducing their own stable coins with their own utility. I think it's cool that we have one.
Yeah. Look, I mean, it's blockchain 101. You're building a blockchain. You got a native token. You want to introduce stablecoin that back is used. The native tokens used to back it. Um, what is why and then implementing new other assets into its backing only helps it. I think my comment around USDC is, well, all of a sudden we're introducing not it's not a decentralized asset. It's an asset that at any time can be frozen and then put in the entire ecosystem at risk. So this is probably my bugbear around it. But
Right.
David, to your point, like adding an asset like USDC, for example, forgetting all the centralized, all that crap, if you add it to your point, yes. So if ICX starts collapsing and say 40% of BNUSD is backed by USDC, well, that is, if it loses its peg, it's losing it by 1 cent versus dollars shrinking. So this is where then it stops that spiral that we know that has happened. It stabilizes that peg a bit because one of the asset is not moving in price. So yeah, put simply, but that also works with. So if we did wrap Bitcoin or Ethereum, generally they're more market hardened assets. So and that's what we start to see. That's what DAI. Look at DAI for example. It started with ETH, then other assets, crypto assets, and then just went in with because they realized majority of crypto is volatile, so they started using USDT and USDC. uh, Enough. I'll keep going on. But David, it's a great summary you've given as well, and a fantastic page that's been built. Really, really educational. If you haven't, take the time, go read. Look at all these little icons animated. Oh, they're so cool.
Yeah, and it looks great on mobile too. So you can send it to your friends and family and say, hey, you know, a lot of people they don't understand the concept that crypto can be stable still, right? So they
Yes.
just assume when the word crypto is mentioned that it's volatile, goes up and down, and that's an inherent danger. Now, obviously, there are risks to stablecoin as well, but this entire concept, like I would be happy to send this page, to reference this page whenever I talk to someone about it and say, look, why don't you just give this a read, and then we can talk stablecoin. And I
Yep.
like that ICX, that the Icon ecosystem has this now, to push forward.
Mm. Yep. Agree. Okay, balanced. There's a fair bit of stuff on balanced. Okay, if you didn't know it, we'll zoom through this one. Balanced Telegram channel is now read only. Now, I didn't know this actually until I loaded up this tweet. So, uh, there's a Discord group. That is where the action happens. It's easier to communicate in the Discord channels. The reason why Telegram existed so long, everyone was in Telegram. It had over 3,000 people, so big community. However, Scott, he's right there. While he's trying to do everything else, he's also there answering questions. So it's probably a better use of his time that everything is moved across to Discord, so he can manage his already efficient time management skills even more. But overall, yes, I think this is a good move. And yeah, otherwise, I felt there was a split. There was a Discord, but it wasn't gaining traction because everyone was just sticking to Telegram. Yeah. Next up, the April roadmap is live. They've given their update here that we were just
I
talking.
think I've actually spoiled some of this stuff now.
Yes, you ruined it. Let's move on. No, no, it's good you covered it. Look, I actually have the roadmap up, and I think yes. So some of the callouts. What did they have? Here's what they accomplished in March. They're implementing an advanced. They began implementing an advanced trading view functionality. That I'm excited about that. The current one just isn't giving doing it justice. If it's trading view, that'll be great. Fin has been added to the statistic page. There's a critical issue that's been fixed where it would randomly stop all SICX transfers. And I actually have recalled someone telling me, hey, I can't transfer my SICX. And I thought it was odd because I was able to. So it looks like they've identified the issue and fixed it. And then overall, they've given a Java smart contract migration update on everything. It looks like things are very close to going live with Java, and then quality of life improvements. One thing that was cool to see is the monthly performance. I've seen Scott Oswell put out tweet, not treat. He's always said he wanted something like this where you could get granular into the DAO funds and the protocol, and they basically built it, hooked it up to the blockchain data. That way, it's not fudge. It's not someone calculating. It's literally reading it and giving it to you like that. So, some cool things happening across the platform. They have 142,000. Oh, it increased by 142,000. So
Yeah.
5.3% the Dow fund has increased. Thoughts, David?
Mm-hmm. I think the Java migration has weighed down on balance for the past 4 or 5 months, I'd say. It was about half a year ago when we were all voting on the bonded, balanced plan in the DAO, where, the community said, yes, we're going to vote yes on this idea that you can lock up your staked balanced,
Mm.
and by doing so, boost your liquidity pool incentives.
Yeah.
The benefit being, this is shaped after the V curve model, a stablecoin market on Ethereum. The benefit being that people will lock up their balance for longer amounts of time. And
Yeah.
what is the other benefit? Actually, I'm thinking about it right now, but I'm drawing an absolute blank. Either way, we voted it in,
Yeah.
and the developers started, building it, upgrading the contracts to be able to process it. But then the decision was made, hey, we're about 2 weeks away from, or maybe 4 weeks away from finalizing this in Python, but we're going to have to rewrite everything to Java anyway. So why don't we call it quits now, migrate to Java, and write these fresh new contracts in Java? So that's the
Mm.
decision they made, which I think is very forward looking, and I back that. But it also means a delay in the execution of this whole bonded balance thing. And the most interesting part about it, I think, at the moment, you just showed like the statistics and how the platform is performing.
Mm.
At the moment, everyone who stakes their balanced and everyone who has their balanced in liquidity pools, they are all sharing in the profits of the platform.
Mm.
But once this bonded balanced functionality is being pushed through, the platform fees will only be distributed to people who stake their balanced. So you can't double dip anymore. You won't, the liquidity pools, you won't be earning the platform fees and your incentives. So people are going to want to make decisions like, okay, maybe I should stake some more, and then maybe I should do this stuff differently. On top of that, the whole landscape is changing with Karma DAO coming in, and they're going to be offering this protocol owned liquidity model where the whole liquidity providing landscape, I think, is going to change for people. So
Mm.
there's a lot set to happen there. And I've been kind of eyeballing it and waiting for it to happen for a long while. So I'm happy to see that once the Java migration is done, I think this platform can start flying. And I haven't even mentioned Icon Bridge, BTP, the
Yeah.
interoperability aspect. So balanced as a platform, they seem to have their stuff together. I like their updates. They look good. They make smart and wise decisions. Like that's a token that I'm comfortable holding, and
Mm.
just I enjoy their updates. And even when there's a delay, they've been delaying this for 4 months or 5 months now, and people don't even seem angry. People are
Yeah.
just taking it and saying, "Okay, thanks for updating us, and
But,
looking forward to the future." So
well,
that's a skill.
that's the thing. It's transparency. That it is a skill, and but it's just they're just being transparent. This is what's happening. It doesn't matter if it's bad news. It is fact. This Java. Like a couple of times we've seen this process has taken longer. Thank you for telling us. That's all we want. Cool. Let's roll. Like, and this is something we've seen Ohm adopt as well, and hopefully now we'll start seeing Foundation practice this as well. So completely agree with you. I think D- David over here. I didn't. I completely missed this part, and this is actually awesome. So one of the big issues in AMMs generally. So the original Uniswap and stuff, it was great for all kinds of swaps, but when you put the same pairs, it was very inefficient. Okay, with fees, etc. That's why Curve then came into the picture. It could pool and reduce the fees and slippage, and that's what made it very effective to trade stables on it. So obviously, then V3 of Uniswap came out, and they incorporated all those and concentrated liquidity. Now we know there's another exchange being built with concentrated liquidity, but it's great to see Balance address this because we have a lot of stable coins on Balance, but they're still trading at, when you trade between them, it will it charges the 0.30% fee. So by the time you're done trading between stables, you come out quite short-handed, and then the peg issues that we're experiencing. So this change actually is going to be awesome for stablecoin trading on Balance. So I didn't realize this was happening. So it's great to see.
Yeah,
And
yeah, and all these updates are happening once that dreaded Java migration is complete,
yeah,
and so it's the sunshine future. I don't think there's going to be another big language migration
no, oh,
soon.
oh God, no.
So all that dev power can go into beefing up this platform. So I think it's like yeah, it's ready to fly.
Yeah.
I'd say I like it.
So, well, look, there's a cross-chain strategy update as well, and it's given a bit of an example. And I like that they're thinking ahead. Well, this is the other thing, right? BTP we know, but at the end of the day, it doesn't mean if you know the code, if you know how it's going to work fundamentally and things like that. There's no reason why foundational dApps cannot start building in the background and prototyping and making sure use cases work for when the tech is ready to integrate it and go live with it very quickly, rather than another 6 months turning around for the build. So you can see this kind of hinting at that, and giving a few ideas around what could transpire. I am rushing now because we are almost 50 minutes in and not even halfway through the news, David. So let's get
Oh
cracking.
my goodness. Yeah, we need to now start slapping the news out. Look, you just hit a couple,
Yeah.
and I'll hit a couple, and
Okay.
we'll just bounce through.
Okay. So I think with the OHM update, it is very similar. So the biggest boosted OHM, they got the Java content migration. They've got the OHM marketing content with the OHM monks. They're doing a NFT thing. We talked about it last episode. Arish gave a bit of a breakdown in the community managers episode. Then Optimus has integrated OHM, two strategies, a staking strategy and a ICX lending strategy that generates more OHM for you. So, and the biggest change as well is a lot of the fin distribution, not a lot, half of it that was going to balanced has moved to the OHM pair as well. So there is opportunity there. If you didn't, new UI, uh, great for OHM, really good. Yeah, OHM update, some sensational. Optimus, I have different views about that, but this update is very similar in vein, and a great one. Anything?
Icon DeFi, good looking. Yeah.
Icon DeFi. Oh yes,
Yeah,
yes, it's looking good, looking
yes.
good.
So we've got balanced, we've got Ohm. They're shaping up. I'm not sure if they had the Java migration. Um, they haven't really reported on it as much. I'm not sure if it's something they still need to do. Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
Bang.
the has been updated to mainnet. Yeah,
Brilliant. So the same kind of goes for them, right? They had to get this sorted.
yeah,
Everything is interlinked, so they're waiting around for Balanced to get their stuff migrated as well. And once because these platforms, they work together and they complement each other. And Optimus, just as a layer on top, is also benefiting from all these improvements. So it's a
yeah.
win-win for Icon DeFi.
Yeah, and remember, so we know that the OHM and Balance share similar teams in the back that have built. So naturally, they've actually posted about this. They've been very transparent, and this is why you see this comment here: the boosted OHM upgrade. It is what is needed. They complete it on one, then they cross check the code, adapt it to the OHM tokenomics, and then good to roll out there as well. So I think yeah, good update. Monks, just quickly touching on this. So if you hadn't listened, this is the up thread around the NFT collections on Craft. So look through the thread. I don't know, David, did you want to drop any insights on this?
I'm not. I'm going to urge everyone who is still listening to us after 55 minutes, is it now? First of all, thank you.
Yes.
You're the real MVPs. I know you're out there. I'm going to urge you to just hit up the Monks Academy timeline and check out what they've written about their NFTs that they're awarding to engaged community members.
Yeah, yeah, it's great, and we covered it in the community manager episode as well. Here we go. Ooh, I didn't think I would rant about Optimus. Look, Optimus new strategy, fantastic. I thought they were going to be doing the compounding LP strategies. That's what I wanted to see. Like, I don't know, have we talked about this? But simply put, these strategies in other chains are called vaults. Okay, that's what Optimus is. It's a yield aggregator platform. One of your biggest sources. Look, it's good they're doing this because their strategy they're a bit more complex. In what way? Especially with balance and where it manages your loan. So it's kind of a cross between Vault and some other protocols, like on say Terra. There's a Nexus where it manages your loan on Anchor for you, so it can maximize its yield with the native token. So it is a bit more complex, but one of the things it can do is create strategies around vaults. Now we have own dishing up close to 60% APR on its LP pools. And with the vault, we could have the compounding effect where, the vault basically let's just say every hour, it automatically sells half your rewards and then re-adds it to the vault, thereby compounding. If you leave it running for like 8 months, it's compounding your value, and that APR is going higher and higher. So look, to me, that is like vaults 101. It is a great way to get eyes on Icon as well. As a user, I on other chains actually am in quite a few different vaults because I just leave them running over a long period of time. So yeah, I'm happy for these updates, but I really was hoping to see a vault strategy while our
Mm,
distributions are high, because it's a
mm,
great eye catcher. More people take part in it. And I hope
yeah.
that there's not this mindset, well, we better play it safe. We don't want to put sell pressure. I think that's just nonsense. And yeah, it's like every other chain is doing it, and it is going to help the ecosystem overall. So,
We will too. Optimus will too. They've said themselves, look, we've changed the dashboard. You can
mm,
see right now it has a very Parrot 90 feel to it. I'm not sure if they've worked on this or if it's been copied. It's a good look. It kind of
yeah.
similar to the way Ohm looks, and they've done it this way because they're going to be adding more and more strategies moving forward. So these faults, they might show up at a later point. I just wanted to talk about the Ohm staker strategy. It's the fourth one in that list, and it's an interesting play here by the icon validator Icon DAO. This is the team that is behind Optimus.
Mm-hmm.
They do a lot of great work in the Icon ecosystem, but they struggle to get the votes from the Icon community. When we stake our Icon, we are voting for GangstaBet because they reward us. We're voting for other platforms because they reward us.
Mm.
Icon DAO has thought, hey, look, we're building stuff here. We are going to reward people for voting for us as well, but we're going to do it in an interesting way. Now, this is what's happening. If you stake your Ohm through the native Ohm platform, they allow you to pick icon validators that you vote for, and they will multiply your vote by the ICX count in the DAO, I believe. What happens if you stake your Ohm through Optimus? You are going to receive your staking APY, but your votes are all going to go to Icon DAO. Icon DAO, in turn, is going to take a part of the ICX that they earn as an icon validator and give it back to you. So if you're staking your Ohm in Optimus, you're inherently voting for the Icon DAO icon validator, which isn't a bad thing because they make amazing products. They work hard and they deliver. And then in turn, they're going to give you back more ICX on top of it. So that's that fourth strategy. And I think it's a very interesting and smart approach by them
So where did you
because
read this, David? Where did you read this? Was there an official? Have they? I did not know this. This is complete news to me.
look, it's the weekly news, Fez.
No, I
I'm
know.
here to blow your mind.
Yes, you are. You're doing a good job. I just mean from their level. So have I understood this right? And I'm learning now here. So are you saying this is the staker strategy, or the lender slash with staker? So when
It's the staker strategy. So if you click on that, you can see if you
I'm
want to
not.
deposit.
I'm not. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, that's all right. If you want to deposit, it asks you to deposit Ohm. So you're depositing Ohm token,
Okay.
and it will be staked for you in the Ohm platform.
Yeah.
Every time you get rewards from that, it will be restaked. So it's a
Yep, yep.
compounding
I figured
reward.
that part, and that so the staker was just that.
Yeah.
It
And then
compounds.
what happens if you scroll down on this? Is this a thread that you're on
It's
for
yeah, yeah.
Optimus?
So
Is this where it's explained?
no, I haven't seen an explanation. That's why I'm a little bit taken back. Where was this explained?
Yeah. So this comes back to them maybe not being as good as balanced in getting their information out there yet. They have their own server called the Moim server. It's like a
Yeah,
Discord, but they've built it themselves, and that way they can monitor security and entrance, and they try to avoid like spam and scam by
yeah.
working this way. I'm not sure if I read this there or if I read this in tweets. I will go and search for the source, even though it's sometimes hard to find. But it is too much for me to have made up. So this is
Oh,
definitely
I am not. I I am not questioning the. I actually. The reason why I'm asking is I want to know. I didn't realize. So I'm trying to differentiate. Like looking at the screenshot, the lender with staker. So to me, the staker is you literally you deposit home there, they stake it, right, and then it's compounding your staking rewards. That's it.
correct.
Then what you're saying is then if I go and use the lender strategy,
Mm-hmm.
I can, which is me basically say I was using the liquidity providing strategy. I take all my ICX from there and I now put it into the lender strategy because that's what it's doing, right? It's taking my ICX and it's supplying it. Uh, is that what it's doing? It's supplying it on Ohm, and
Yeah,
is it automatically borrowing against it?
unsure, unsure.
Okay, so you're supplying it, and what else is happening? Are you saying as long is after I
I'm
supply?
assuming the lender with Staker is you're going to supply ICX and you're going to get rewarded OHM tokens, and those will be staked, I think.
Okay, and so then how are they? How is the node rewards component? What does that work with?
The fourth one, the strategy Staker,
Okay, yep,
you stake your OHM
yep,
with Optimus. So Optimus goes to the OWN
yep,
platform, stakes it on your behalf, and the OWN platform says, okay,
yep.
which icon validator do you want to vote for?
Mm,
Optimus says, I want all the votes to go to Icon DAO.
mm-hmm.
In turn, Icon DAO is going to get increased node rewards from the Icon blockchain. So
Yep,
their income is going to increase. But what they're saying is a certain percentage of that increased income, is it 70%? I'm not sure what I read. We're going to give that back to those people
yep.
who have staked their own through Optimus. And this is reward sharing. And we've seen this happen a lot in the past. This is how certain icon validators made it all the way up through the lists. Spartan Node was the first one to really step up and apply this.
Yep.
In a way, GangstaBet is doing this because if you vote for them, they reward you with their ecosystem token Crown, which
Yeah.
is why a lot of people pick them. You know, it's why they're the number 2 icon validator at the moment. So
Mm.
this idea has been pioneered by others before, and I think the way that Icon DAO is applying it to a product they made, I think it's subtle and I think it's smart. I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
No, look, I mean, yep, yep, it's good. I didn't know that was happening. So many more questions. Is it then factored into the APY? It's great that it's happening. It's a yeah,
I think
torn.
you get an 8% on top of your 26%
Mm,
is what I read. But be careful with percentages because that doesn't mean that it's a 34% in total. It could be the 8% on top of
yeah.
the rewards.
Why don't we do this, David? Let's pin it and fact check it, I guess, and then maybe work on putting out that information as a tweet or something to clarify, or even going to Optimus. Can you clarify and because I know Steve from the Monks subject matter expert. He would know this inside out as well. So I'm curious. I didn't realize this was at play. So then my shit talking was apologies. That is a cool use of the staking strategy. It is the vote buying aspect. I have views on that even with the gangster bet, but let's leave it there. A
Yeah.
good overall implementation. That now I understand why the staker strategy they did it. Like to me, that was such a head scratcher. Going that is, but now I understand it. That's brought a lot more clarity. So thank you. Um,
And I'm going through my Twitter notifications because I
yes.
actually responded under one of these uh, with saying, hey, that's an interesting strategy performed by Icon DAO. But now I cannot find my notification in the list. So I'm wondering, have they deleted it? Is this some sort of myth now that we're spreading? We shall fact check and report on it.
Yes.
Um, Side note, we are really bad at speeding up
Oh, I
the news
know. We
delivery.
just got bogged down. Okay. Look, let's few quick fire items. Okay, Karmadao. They were holding an NFT competition. It has been extended to 30th of April. $3,000 up for grabs. If you know how to make NFTs, if you're an artist, if you got something going on, get involved. Next, how's that? Huh? Oh, we've covered this as well. Guild. Project Nebula Guild. If it's not, there was a tab, it was blanked out, it's official. You can join the Discord, say you want to be have a guild name. There's a bit of a competition going. You can win these
Oi,
cool things. Yeah.
and this is a special eye on icon notification for all those who are still listening, who do not play Project Nebula. You have a chance to win a spaceship if you join the eye on icon Nebula Guild. So if you've made it this far, comment under the Twitter post of this episode and tell us that you want to join the guild. Anyone else won't even know what you're talking about. But if you're listening to this, you can join the Ion Icon Space Guild.
So, David, to clarify, wait, what? Iron Icon Space Guild? Yes, definitely Iron Icon. Should we call ourselves the Starfleet Guild? No. Anyway, Iron Icon Space Guild, and what is it? When you say one spaceship, you mean go in the running? So if we win the pack, it gets distributed to someone in the guild?
Definitely. So
Okay.
what we want is people who want to play Project Nebula, but they don't want to fork out $150 to buy a playable ship. Now, if we win with our newly formed guild, I believe we win these spaceships.
Yep.
We win these supplies and these planets. We'll keep the planets, we'll keep the supplies, thank you. But give our listeners the ships, float around space a little, try and discover Project Nebula. I think that's what it's all about, getting more people in
Yep.
to discover this game. I think that will long term benefit all of us. So yeah,
So
we need to start a guild.
definitely. So a few things here. Not everyone who comments will win. If we win, we will pass on the winning. It will be given to guild members because I think so. It's official. Donny's going to be in there. We've got Digital Dave in there. Myself. We're all part founding the Iron Icon Guild. And whoever comments in there wants to join, welcome to the guild. We'll even make sure you join the Iron Icon Telegram because we'll start putting up links on how to join that guild group. What's the point of our guild, guys? We just want to float around space and explore stuff and have some fun with it. So if you've experienced a guild and they're grinding away and strategizing and stuff, I don't know if we're going to take it that extreme.
That's not us.
That's not us, exactly. We fly around. We're like, Starfleet, but without all the orders and thing. We just want to fly around and have a good time. So, if you're interested in that, come join us. Hell, in the guild, we'll think of ways that we could be smarter and have more fun in there. So yeah, really excited to do this. As you know, I know Digital Dave, you won a spaceship and got involved. I've been playing the game since launch, and I literally do that. I just fly around, and while I'd given up all hope, then I stumbled on a zone, and I just started getting planet after planet recently. Although now someone's caught on and it's all gone. But that's not the point, right? We're flying around. Okay.
It's all about the floating. Hey, if you are listening to this and you want to join the Ion Icon Space Guild, you just comment with a little spaceship emoji and we'll do the rest.
Oof, we will do the rest. There you go. Okay, let's keep moving. Iron Icon Space Guild. Now, David, all yours. You've done a thread. You know this. I have not. I want to be educated. Tell me about
I'm going to be
claws.
quick and I'm
Yes.
going to be clear. The Claw NFT project aims to launch these T-Rex dinosaur NFTs on the Icon blockchain. They aim to launch 10,000 of them, just like the Board 8 Yacht Club has launched 10,000. And the original mint price will be up and around 200 ICX, depending on the market value once they launch.
200.
This concept isn't new. People say, hey, this is a profile picture drop. What else can I do with these
Yeah.
with this art? It happens a lot on Ethereum, like these projects, and every now and then there's one that just shoots up in value and gains popularity. But on the other side of things, there's a lot of these types of projects that launch collect a lot of money, beautiful roadmap, lots of promises, and they rug, they
Yeah.
disappear, and you're left with 10 T-Rexes that you might have paid 2,000 ICX for and nothing to show for it. So people, you have to make your own decisions and be smart about joining new big NFT projects. I'm a bit worried, and I'm going to be honest about it. So we haven't seen a launch of this magnitude on the Icon blockchain. I think our community hasn't been stress tested yet. We haven't experienced a big rug like other communities experience nearly every week. So iconists might be a bit naive and think, hey, anything coming through, we love it. My reservations are that I don't know who these people are.
So
I don't.
thank you. Sorry, I was literally when you finished, and I'm cutting you off, and I don't mean to, but I was gonna go. Do we know who the team is? Like that's all I want to know. Do we? It doesn't sound like you do
I don't.
either.
I don't know. I'm in their Discord, but they're named like Claw Lizard One or something like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know who the team is. I don't know have they been in Icon for long. I've they're offering like all these standard. They're offering whitelist spots. So basically, if you want to get your hands on a T-Rex, you need to get whitelisted, and for that you need to work. You need to make either memes or threads, and I I'm engaging with them. I did a thread. I just dropped it possibly 6
Yes.
hours ago, and I'm kind of telling the community in my thread what it is that they do. But I'm also tagging my favorite NFT buster, Zach XBT, and
Yes.
asking him, "Hey, any red flags here?" Another red flag is that on my thread, I'm getting people are commenting. I'm getting likes from verified accounts that have over 60,000 followers that I've never seen before. Like, why are they all of a sudden in my thread liking pretty random comments? Like, what's
So
what's happening here?
yeah, true. So even when you click on the Twitter, and look, again, we don't take. I think what David is saying is very valid. Like, you got to do your own research. For me, like, okay, I've gone here. This is the team. All I wanted to know was like, it seems well thought of. Okay, they talk about BTP. Let's talk of all this stuff, and but the only thing I care about is well, okay, but what's the team? What have they done? If they're iconists, what have they done? What are they involved in? And Turbo Diesel Studio, I don't know. This doesn't give me anything crypto related. You can see that the studio's worked on a ton of stuff. But again, we're not here sitting here thinking it could be a real top notch team. So um, I think, Digital Dave, you're right. Be cautious. There are a few flags here, but it doesn't feel. It feels a step above the standard. Oh, it's a NFT drop. It seems well thought out, in a first glance.
It seems like they are following an NFT launch playbook
Hmm.
that is probably tried and tested on other blockchains, which is why it's ticking all the boxes. And all us naive iconists are looking at it and thinking, "Oh my goodness, that's amazing."
Mm.
I want to get in on this. And because I'm seeing all the usual suspects up in their Discord engaging with them, and so am I,
Mm.
right? So we are kind of immediately stamping this stamp of approval onto this project, but we're ignoring red flags because, like I was thinking yesterday, should I mint a T-Rex? Should I maybe mint two? But then I'm giving 400 ICX to a project of which I don't even know what the who's working on it.
Yeah.
So I would never do that in reality. And now I'm considering it because
Mm.
it all looks so good and it looks so well planned out. And that's what worries me because if it all looks so great and planned out, it's kind of blurring my my sense of critique.
Yeah.
So
No, look,
um,
it's a good cautionary tale. Yeah, so call out. We don't know who the team is, so it's not a. It's yep, Claw NFT, great, 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 but it would be awesome. That description, iconist, like we've seen stuff like this before on other chains as well. So look, yeah, let's pin it, as it says, pin tweet. But if the team's listening, please reach out, let us know so that we can actually share a bit more insights. But David, it sounds like you've been quite close. You've done a breakdown, and it's really good to know your inner thoughts about it as you are exploring it further. Okay, moving along. So we got a little bit of a preview here. The VR game that is being built. It looks pretty sick. I think it just, yeah.
Yeah. I like where this is going. I'd be very curious to. You can already walk around in like their very first version, the one that they kind of won the hackathon with. Bit disappointed. I had messaged them saying, "Hey guys, you're using the old Icon logo. We're Icon 2.0 now," and they were, "Oh yeah, we're going to implement the new logo. Thanks for letting us know." And then they post this one, and he's got the old logo on his back. Look, it's vintage. Maybe that's the style. I don't know.
I'm still the loot I have still has the old Icon logo. I'm not going to go and reprint everything again, unless I get a special pack again. But yeah. Look, I get it. But this is pretty cool. Good to see.
It is. Yeah, love it.
I think this is it. This is all the news we had. Oh, we started rushing towards the end, but we're 1 hour 14 minutes in. So look, overall, again, huge shout out to Donny. I'll keep saying this. I know, this is something he helps out with. Everyone has their day jobs and stuff, and Donny always goes out of his way to make time to collate all the news so that we can deliver it to everyone who listens. So thank you again, Donny, for all the work you do across Icon and Iron Icon. And with that, let's close out the episode. Digital Dave, thank you for joining me. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. One day we'll get around to the LPing episode. I know you've been, trying to prove me wrong. Trying to get.
I'm not going to lie. Yeah, I haven't been able to simulate my thesis yet, so we'll do it.
Yeah. But like, share, subscribe, everyone, and make sure you comment if you want in on the guild. And no pressure, right? That's what the guild's about. So don't feel pressured to like and comment, but if you want in, you kind of got to do that.
Yeah, and you got to tell your friends about Ion Icon today.
That's right, exactly. And the best way, like, share, subscribe. Take care, everyone.